and learn.
Okay, we're learning. I think you have a fish on that.
Are you watching and learn?
That's a nice one too.
I know.
Well done. Mayan cichlids. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do it a little bit different. We could call it Tech Tuesday, even though it's maybe not so much to do with tech, but it's going to be interesting anyway. I have been fishing quite a bit here over the past years and enjoying it as well. And in order to be successful with some of the stuff out there, we need some fresh bait. In order to keep the bait fresh, well, you'll have water, you have to pump it up. Now I've actually done pumps that came up to my cooler system in the garden and all that stuff, and could actually relieve itself as well out into the ocean and so forth as well, but you have to have a pump running and so forth. So now I'm going to go ahead and make a temporary, easier bait keeper that's going to be working the way a keep net would actually, more or less. So I'll be able to have my shrimp bought in the day before and then acclimatize them in the water it's going to be in right here in the canal or in the salt water outside, and then we can take them up in the morning and go fishing. Now over the years I've had, like right here next to me, I got like the Engel coolers. I got 3 right here with all bubble machines and everything else, and they do work well over the night, no problem at all. The only thing is it doesn't have any exchange of water, and I have to let the pump running all night as well, and sometimes it's not really the best, and it might cost a few shrimp here and there, or some of the pinfish that you use as well. So I've decided to I have a big bait keeper as well for fish and so forth, but it's too big, and the holes in the mirror are actually too big for the shrimps as well. So now we're gonna make another bait keeper, which is gonna be smaller, but it should be plenty enough to have about 100 shrimp in there without having any trouble with it, and it should be able to survive for the day after. Some of the ones that I've used over the years in the canal has been too small, and there's not been enough exchange of water. That means they cannot filter feed, and I want this one here to go down to the bottom, or at least you can put some weight on it so it goes to the bottom, or you can put in a noodle that's going to keep it elevated in the water as well. So let's get started and see where we are. The Engel coolers I'm talking about are right here. I'll show you them first. Live bait cooler number 1. We got live bait cooler number 2, and down in one of the live bait coolers number 3, as you can see here as well. So they're all basically really nice, and they work. The pump is over on this side, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and change that to a small bait cooler that I'm going to dump straight into the ocean. So the material we're going to use today is actually it's a hardware cloth, a galvanized steel, and you can see the mesh in here is actually a quarter inch. That's so small that there's be enough water to be exchanged, and also the shrimp can actually hang on to this without being torpedoed by prey fish from the outside. So this is what we're going to use. Then I got 2 about, as you can see, 10 feet long PVCs here, and I'm going to use about 16 feet of those. Then I got some of these that are basically a tri-connector, 4 PVCs for every corner, and then a whole bunch of zip ties. So let's get started and make a cage. So first thing we'll do is to cut these PVC pipes up in, well, I'll need 2 feet by 1 feet, and that's what we're going to cut up first. So we'll go ahead and get them all sorted out. So here are all the PVCs now basically sawed into pieces, and these ones as well. So I got 2 footers here, 1 footers here, and that's the corners. So let's go ahead and create a cage. So I'm just putting the net on here all the way around so it fits. And then we're gonna make a lid on the top and put some small pieces in both ends, and we're almost done. Well, we got the sides on, and I put some zip ties on the side here just to make sure I can keep it under control. And now I'm just trimming the last part off so I don't have too much of this net hanging around. Then we're going to put the sides on, and once we're done putting the sides on, I'm going to put the lid. And I did find something else to put onto something extra to put onto the lid. That's because I want to make sure I can get into the cage and out of the cage without getting caught by these small strong splinters that comes when you cut this net off. But it should be done within a few minutes, and then we should see how it works. So we got one end in, all four sides in, except for this one. But before I put, except for this one here, so we got everything covered up here, there, everywhere. So before we close this one here, I'm gonna put in I'm gonna make the opening up here, the lid, so I can come down and I can actually catch all the shrimp when they come up. So that's what we're gonna do next. Let's try that. Now the door has been put in, and you can see I have some protection plastic around not to cut yourself. So I'm going to put the door up here so we can open it. This is actually just plastic that I use for wires and stuff like that, and it's really cheap too. Just put it back on and it's going to seal up perfectly. Well, a few hundred strips and zip ties later, this is how it looks like. We're just about getting ready. That's the lid coming in. Everything's closed up. And now we're just gonna take this off, and we're gonna actually install the locking mechanism. The locking mechanism I've actually decided to be with like rubber bands like these. It's gonna be ready in 2 minutes. So here's the final product. That's the new bait well, or the live bait container if you want to dump it straight into the ocean or into fresh water. You can keep your shiners in there, shrimps in there as well, because it's actually very small mesh that's in there. We're looking at a 1/4 inch mesh all the way around, and the way you open it is actually 2 elastic rubber bands like that, and then just open it up and you can put all your stuff right in there. So it works really well. When you want to close it again, it should be operable with one hand. You put that one on there and you take the other rubber band out like this, and now the whole thing is closed again. So this is how it goes. You can put in some noodles over here to keep this right side up. I'm going to put a little bit of a string over here as well so I can lift it, and then it's ready to go straight into the docks. That's the conclusion on the live bait well, to keep your shrimp or your live shiners or whatever you want to be. If it's fresh water or salt water, doesn't really matter. But I'm going to try it out today, and then we'll see tomorrow how it works. I'm sure it's going to be fine. So stay tuned, and I hope you like to subscribe and also hit the notification bell, and then I'll come back with another video whenever I can. Thank you.
Beva, I caught that.